As we enter into the Dynasty offseason, there's some common mistakes that a lot of people make. You can capitalize on them, but mostly I want you to avoid making these mistakes. We're going to get into them. Smash the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, boys. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Mistake number one, the value of draft picks. I know you're bored now. Football ain't on. And you're going to be sitting on your draft picks, or maybe you already traded. Maybe you don't even have a first round draft pick. Maybe you don't have second round draft picks. Maybe you just want to feel involved. You want to feel a part of the game. You're watching the combine. You're watching these guys declare for the draft, and you just feel left out. Or you want to feel like a genius. You want to feel like you have a super IQ, and you want to throw a dart at the dartboard and try getting a hit on one of these guys. Well, let me tell you something. We're going to go over to my draft board. I'm not even sure if you'll be able to see it all just because of the way all this editing stuff works. But this is my draft board. We've already done a couple rookie mock drafts. The main takeaway I have for you guys, there are only 9 players that I feel comfortable drafting as of right now. If you have beyond this 109, once you get beyond that, you are throwing darts at a dartboard. Like, sure, Dante Moore could be something. Surratt, maybe. Cooper, Stowers. There's going to be guys that you hit on. There's going to be guys that do turn out to be diamonds in the rough. But honestly, like, after the top 7, like, Mekhi Lemon's not bad. But after the top 7, Jadarian Price, Jonah Coleman, neither of those guys are sure things. But they're more sure things than the guys after. So do not overvalue the price of draft picks. Just keep in mind, if you are trading a player on your team, on your Dynasty roster, for a 2026 draft pick, these are the names that you're going to be trading for. Chris Bell, Jeremy Bernard, Nick Singleton, Katron Allen, Omar Cooper, Nick Harbor. So, like, if you were to go ahead and trade Kyle Pitts for 2 second-round picks, and that's pretty much a trade I actually made this season prior to his break. I traded Pitts and Kayshon Boutte for 2 second-round picks, one this year, one in 2027, and a third-round pick this year, I believe, as well. So I flipped them into 2 seconds and a third. This was before the breakout. I felt good about it. Now I'm looking at this board. Bro, like, do I want Nick Singleton and Katron Allen? Sure, one of them, neither of them, both of them could be hits. But I ain't feeling good about the chance, right? Like, I'm thinking a lot of these guys in the second round, you're looking at like 15% chance of these guys being absolutely anything. So do not overvalue the picks, especially, if you're a top 9 pick, I'd probably hang on to it. Top 7, I'd most likely try to hold on to it. But outside of that, like, do not overvalue your rookie picks. Do not get bored. So another mistake that people commonly make in the offseason is begging to trade aging assets. Let's take a look at Davante Adams. Listen, Davante Adams inevitably will decline in value in the offseason. Why? Well, let's just think logically outside of anything, right? Davante Adams is 33, Matt Stafford is 67. If Davante Adams sees Matt Stafford retire, he's leaving. He already said he's open. He's gone. He's gone. Davante Adams is having a hamstring injury. Davante Adams is 33. Did I mention that? So Davante Adams, nobody wants him unless you're a contender. Now, all the contending teams are no longer contending teams by a record. They might be going for contending based on their roster strength, but anything can happen in the Dynasty season. So nobody's going to want to trade for an aging asset or an old asset in the offseason. They're going to wait until they're 5-0, 4-1, 6-2. And that's when we really start labeling the teams as contenders, when it becomes more and more clear that they're actually going to be able to make a playoff push in the Dynasty season. So guys like Davante Adams, 33. I mean, another one I got right here is Kamara. Kamara's 30 years old, had a terrible season, and he's got another year on his contract. This actually is a unique scenario where I would recommend getting the heck out of Kamara, right? Like, you don't have to necessarily trade guys. You can let guys die on your roster. Like, it is okay to let Kamara die on your roster because you're probably past the point of anyone paying anything. Like, you probably could have got a second round pick plus before the 2025 season. Now you ain't sniffing the second round. You're lucky if you get a third round pick for this bum, which honestly, a third round pick does seem kind of tempting to just go ahead because Kamara's got 1 year left. So these aging assets, they're going to be at their lowest value during the offseason, and then they'll peak in value as the teams start contending. So when you try making trades for draft picks, maybe you want to move up and around, move down and around in the actual rookie mock, aging assets, just keep in mind, like, nobody really wants them. There's a reason you're trying to trade them, right? Speaking of trading, boredom trading. Everybody wants to go on keep trade cut. Everyone wants to send a bunch of trades. Just because your league mates might not be as active as you, don't get bored. I know the offseason is boring. I know it sucks not having football. But don't come in here and down tier. Don't mess up your roster's value just because you're bored and looking to make a deal. I see this very, very often. People are in the DMs. They're like, only one guy's responding. Two guys are responding. So they feel pressured to make a deal with those individuals. You don't have to make deals in the offseason. Speaking of that, though, you're going to want to try. Like, do not. That's another mistake. People make a mistake of not being as active or involved in the offseason as they need to be. Keep up on some of the rookie draft buzz. You're in the right spot on this channel. We'll hook you up with all the best details. But you want to make sure that you are involved. You are, potentially checking your DMs. You don't have to be there on there every day. You don't even have to be on there every single week. But just make sure you're keeping up with your league mates. Make sure you're, putting feelers out there. You're understanding the value. We're going to have free agency as well as the draft. We're going to have the combine, which is going to be huge once we get some more details on the athletic profile of some of these rookies. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be changing in terms of dynasty value. The offseason, great time to be making moves. Do not make any of those mistakes. I hope this video helped you. Maybe it was a little bit quick, but those are some of the mistakes that I just thought of where I don't want you guys to fall into those traps. I know it's going to be boring, but the offseason can be a great time to build value for your team for the future. Stay involved, man. We're going to be involved all offseason long. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Thanks for watching.